Yep. Here's an update on George Santos. 23 counts. Good God Almighty. It's 23 counts against the man. What for? Well, he's a Republican fraud. And stealing from his constituents and lying about money and generally speaking, getting things via illegal means. But hey, we don't need my summary. We've got The Hill reporting on this. Yes, indeed. Santos charged with 10, count 'em, 10 new criminal counts in superseding indictment. So bear in mind, I don't know how many. I guess I do. That makes it a total of 23 counts, but 10 new criminal counts in a superseding indictment. Representative George Santos was charged with 10 new criminal counts Tuesday over accusations he inflated his campaign finance reports and charged donors' credit cards without authorization. Hey, real quick. Hey, Republicans. Hey, pal. Real quick. These people steal from you. George Santos is just not very savvy about it. Santos pleaded not guilty in May to a 13-count indictment, and the new charges bring the total to 23. There it is. The charges add new criminal exposure for the embattled lawmaker who began his first term in January after admitting to embellishing parts of his background while campaigning. That's a hell of a way to say he lied about his mother's 2 deaths. Santos is due to appear in court October 27th. Just to recap who this guy is. He lied about being a drag queen, we think. He lied about his mother's various deaths. He lied about his criminal record. He lied about who supported him within the Republican Party. He lied about how much money he had. I just assume that if you turn to the nearest person to you and try to pull off their mask, there's about a 10% chance that it will come off and you'll discover it's been Santos the whole time. The additional indictment comes days after Santos' former campaign treasurer, Nancy Marks, we're going to be hearing that name a lot more, reached a deal with prosecutors and pleaded guilty to conspiring with the then candidate to carry out a scheme prosecutors are dubbing the Party Program, in which the duo committed fraud. Let's get rid of that ugly son of a gun. On which the duo committed fraud on Santos's campaign finance reports. The scheme was meant to ensure that Santos and his campaign qualified for a national party committee program that would provide financial and logistical support to Santos's bid for Congress, prosecutors said. To qualify, the New York Republican had to show his campaign raised at least $250,000 from third-party contributors in a single quarter. After failing to qualify for the program in October of 2021, an agent of the National Party Committee told Santos that the only driver that matters, because these are Republicans, is raising $250,000, according to the indictment. We are going to do this a little different. I got it, Santos allegedly replied. The charging document says to make that representation, Santos and Marks agreed to falsely report to the Federal Election Commission that at least 10 family members made significant contributions to the campaign, despite knowing they had not, according to prosecutors. All right, what does this mean? It means that George Santos told the FEC, Federal Elections Commission, that he was given lots and lots of financial support by the community, including his own family, when in fact he was not trusted enough to be given that much financial support by the community, including his own family. And the community, including his own family, was correct. He cannot be trusted. He lied about how much money he had raised, and as a result, he got into the rich people's club. So you have to have raised at least $250,000 to receive additional help from the Republican Party, the National Republican Party. So he lied, just like Trump lies to hang out with rich people. Santos lied, and the problem is it makes it harder for the rest of us to get by. It makes it harder for the rest of us to meet these qualifications when clowns like Santos say they can. That's just sort of secondary, though. The main thing would be the fraud. You know, the the fraud. Apparently, conservatives have this notion that if you lie to the government, it's fine. Maybe this is because the government has never before bothered to apply the laws to conservatives. And now they have to because they have no choice, because the conservatives have gone from just regular criminals, just stealing money from people and conning people, to terrorists. So they really don't have a choice, and now the laws must be applied. Really, too much attention is on conservatives, is what it is. Because of clowns like Santos. Trump lowered the bar so much that it's now the party of terrorists and what have you, and attention is just being paid to them because we have no choice. So they're now getting the negative, the consequences of that, I suppose, which is all these lies that they tell is just part of their way of existing. For them, it's the same as breathing. They're biting them right in their big old rumps. Santos is no different. He's just more of a professional con artist. He's less of a specialist in politics, like Mitch McConnell, say, or Kevin McCarthy. But he is no different from them in terms of character, in terms of the ethics he uses, by which I mean the utter lack of, so on and so forth. What can you do? Just enjoy the popcorn. Use Santos as our sub for Menendez. When inevitably the absolutely most educated conservative brings up Bob Menendez. Congratulate them on actually knowing one true thing, having learned an actual true thing about politics in the entirety of their life. Just one. Congratulate them on that, because that does mean they will be the conservative that knows the most about politics out of probably anybody else you know. And then point out that we will kick out Bob Menendez from the Democrats as soon as he's found guilty, and add that you hope they will do the same with George Santos as soon as he's found guilty. And then look them straight in the eyes and hold their gaze and say, you will tell your representatives, of course, when Santos is found guilty, that you want him kicked out. You will do that, right? I mean, obviously, you think I should with Menendez, and I'm going to. So I assume you're going to with Santos and Trump. I assume you will. Oh, and Sarah Sanders. Let's talk about that too.